And I was saying that Cameroon is a laughing stock, and we too are being laughed along because we are still connected, because we still have them on our territory. Look at this. I'm not the one saying it. Huh? It's Paul Chuta. Il says, nous sommes devenus la risée du monde entier. Lors des manifestations contre la candidature de Ouattara, les Ivoiriens scandent, la Côte d'Ivoire n'est pas le Cameroun. Did you hear that? Paul Chuta says, we have become the laughing stock, the real laughing stock of the entire world. And he says, during demonstrations by the people of Ivory Coast against the prospects of a fourth mandate for Alassane Dramane Ouattara, you could hear the people saying, telling Alassane Ouattara, Ivory Coast is not Cameroon. That Cameroon is a country made up of idiots, drunkards, dullards, where men have all become women, weak, where the only thing they know how to do is drink, eat, look for women, and dance. That's all. That's what they are saying. And the whole world is saying that. The other day, I broadcast here, journalists of a free television channel laughing at the people of La République du Cameroon, mocking at them and seeing clearly that what is happening now is not even an election, because Paul Biya has confiscated the electoral process. And all appear to be clear that change can only come from the streets, not through the ballot box in La République du Cameroon. I'm not the one saying it. So if they can tell the people of La République that one, and then you people of Southern Cameroon, some of you are there saying, oh, that election can, if the people of La République themselves are being told they cannot expect anything out of the elections, out of their elections, how much more of you, of the Southern Cameroons, are parasite? There's something to bear in mind. So Alassane Dramane Ouattara has been having a very bad turn because he's 83. Seeking another 5-year term means by the time he finishes, he'll be 88. Not so far away from Paul Biya. Maybe he will also ask for a 5th term. He will not be the first. We saw Bouteflika in Algeria. We are seeing Paul Biya in La République du Cameroon. We saw Mugabe in Zimbabwe. We are seeing this other man, how do they call him? Obiangema Batzogo in Equatorial Guinea, all over the place there. We have to get these people out of our territory. You'll be asking yourselves, but Ouattara, why is Ouattara trying to stand? No, Ouattara must stand. Because France can fight candidatures elsewhere. They will stand for Paul Biya, they will stand for Ouattara, because Russia has already kicked France out of several of its territories in Africa. And France cannot afford to lose any other one. They better drag you to the worst levels of ridicule to maintain their stranglehold on those countries. So France knows if Ouattara goes, they are not so sure of whoever is going to come after Ouattara. That's why this picture speaks volumes. You see, that's Ouattara, they're standing with Macron. See where Ouattara's hand is. Is it a couple? See where Ouattara's hand is. A puppet of unimaginable proportions. And don't forget that it is Alassane Dramane Ouattara that France has been using to brew trouble in those countries that are recalcitrant against France. They tried to stage several attacks against Assimi Goïta in Mali from Côte d'Ivoire. All failed. They tried to stage several attacks against Niger in Côte d'Ivoire. They failed. They also tried to brew several attacks against Burkina Faso, against Traoré in Burkina Faso, in Côte d'Ivoire, using Ouattara. It failed. Ouattara even tried to send people that know to infiltrate the ranks in Burkina Faso. It failed. And so France knows Alassane Dramane Ouattara is not important for France only in Côte d'Ivoire. is important for France for maintaining their influence in their in their territories, in the French provinces in Africa. That is why Ouattara has to be there. And so the people are saying this is going to happen over our dead bodies. Hear them.
Nous sommes en Cameroun très camp. Voici le cortège qui est là. Tous les princes ivoiriens sont là. Le PDCI est représenté. Tout le monde est là. Tout le monde est là. Tout le monde est là. Le PDCI est représenté. Ceux qui pensaient que moi ne pouvais pas venir là, je suis là. Nous sommes là pour la loi des Ivoiriens, pour la Côte d'Ivoire. Ceux qui disent qu'on ne peut pas sortir là, si on sort, quand tu vas dans la rue, on est dans la rue.
Do you hear what he's saying? This gentleman is telling the soldiers, the gendarmes, the military in Côte d'Ivoire, telling them that here we are, in our thousands, in tens of thousands on the streets. Because the forces want that if anybody dares to go out on the streets, they will meet them there. They will meet their doom on the streets. You know, that is what when they tell the people in Cameroon, Agatanga Podji said, ils vont trouver un poisson, un serpent affamé. Apparently, said he is a sheriff. That if anybody's candidature is rejected, the person should go and cry in his bedroom. If they dare come out on the streets, they will meet what they will meet. And they send soldiers all over the streets in Yaoundé, Douala. They militarize the entire place. But this Ivorian is daring the forces in Côte d'Ivoire. Try. You told us that if we come out, we will meet you. Here we are. Where are you? Listen.
Cette discussion, on sort, on nous agresser là. Nous dans la rue. On est là marcher. Voilà, tous les Ivoiriens sont là. Tout le monde est 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 là. Nous voulons une Côte d'Ivoire réconciliée. Nous voulons une Côte d'Ivoire où on respecte les lois. Un pays où on respecte.
Yeah. They said they are all there. Let the soldiers come on them. This is what we say. People power is more powerful than those soldiers. How many people would they kill? If they come out and meet people on the streets in their hundreds of thousands, they will run. They will run. This is what we tell our people. All that thing you see is a mirage. They just put those people there to intimidate you. The Indians taught the British that when they were forcing them to pay salt tax. The Indians stood on the long line. The British forces said, if you dare, we will bring you down. Anybody steps, the first line of people steps, they shot them. The second line came, they shot. And the third line came. The four of those people saw that they may soon run out of ammunition, and the way the people were determined, they had defeated death. Once you have defeated death, defeated fear, there is nothing anybody can do to you. That's why here the young man says, we are here, nous sommes là. Tout le monde est là, look, we are here. And he says, they want a free, independent, and prosperous Côte d'Ivoire, where the rule of law reigns, where the laws of the country are respected. But he says something more interesting right ahead.
Les lois, c'est la jungle. La Côte d'Ivoire n'est pas une jungle. La Côte d'Ivoire n'est pas une jungle. La Constitution dit quoi? C'est 2 mandats. Ouattara a fait 3 mandats. 4e mandat, ça passe pas. Ici, là, c'est pas le Cameroun. On n'est pas au Cameroun pour avoir.
Did you hear that? They say he says the Constitution says 2 mandates, no more. Ouattara has already made 3 that the 4th mandate will never pass. The law will be respected. So they want a country where the laws are respected. And he says loudly and so clearly, ici n'est pas le Cameroun. Hey, Jesus Christ of Timbuktu. Did it horrify you? Did you feel ashamed? Did you feel humiliated? Did you feel embarrassed? Are tears running down your cheeks? Is your head spinning? Are you already asking yourself, but how did we find ourselves with these people? How did we get there? If you are asking yourself all those questions, then do me a favor. Look under the crow. amberrelief2018@gmail.com, or contribute to any other platform that you know is doing any form of work assisting our people on ground zero to resist La République du Cameroon. Contribute. Contribute to help our civilian population to maintain the resistance. They need our help. You can't contribute here. Contribute elsewhere where you feel comfortable contributing. But by all means, make a contribution. By all means, make a contribution. And don't end up contributing. I've seen in the diaspora, people are mobilizing seriously because the COVID era is over, so we can return to street demonstrations. Polish your shoes. Look for your Ambazonia paraphernalia. Look for all the gadgets, the t-shirts, the caps, the flags, and everything, and stand ready to answer the call. Whenever we say, on your mark, set, let's go. This is very important and very fundamental for us. We can't continue to be part of this global ridicule. We can't continue to be part of this global embarrassment. We can't continue to be part of this global shame. No, we must do something.
Pour avoir 100 ans d'être au pouvoir, pour avoir 90 ans d'être au pouvoir, la Côte d'Ivoire est un pays de droit. Nous marchons pour le respect de la loi. Pardon, vos partis. Vos partis, Ado, on n'a pas besoin de toi. Tu as fini tes 15 ans, faut aller. Dites à d'autres partis. Nous sommes un carrefour des camps.
You see, yeah, it is. That's Africa. That's Africa for you. That's Africa for you. But then there was a time when Alassane Dramane Ouattara, with his own lips, said he was getting too old to still be president. Listen and see how they are mocking at him seriously on social media.
Moi, je ne ferai pas 4 mandats parce que je ne veux pas me retrouver président à 90 ans. Si les uns et les autres.
Did you hear that? Ouattara himself is speaking. Moi, je ne ferai pas 4 mandats. That I will never do 4 mandates. Because if I have to do 4 mandates, by the time I complete the 4th mandate, I'll be getting towards 90. And that is unacceptable. That is Alassane Dramane Ouattara himself speaking.
Savent ce que c'est que la charge de président de la République. À partir d'un certain âge, eux-mêmes ne chercheraient plus à être président. Oui, le capitaine Kader est là. Avant lui, c'était le colonel-major Yarasuba. Mais tous les soirs, moi, on m'amène 2 valises de documents. Oui, des notes, des signatures. Quand je finis de dîner, je travaille jusqu'à 23 heures. Je me réveille à 4h30 du matin. Je travaille jusqu'à 7h. Et à 10h, je suis au bureau. Mais ayez pitié de moi.
Did you hear that? He himself is narrating the tasks of a president of the republic. See how when he leaves office, he gets home, sometimes they'll bring him files, they'll bring him notes, they'll bring him all kinds of things to examine. By the time he finishes reading the notes, the briefings that have come, security briefings from the military, security briefings from the police, perhaps security briefings from the external research, security briefing from this, thick files to sign, he finishes sometimes about 11 p.m. getting to midnight. And then he'll go to bed late. And by 7 a.m. he has to be up and then to go back to work. And he opens his own dirty lips, Alassane Dramane Ouattara, and say, please have mercy on me. Allow me to go take a rest. I cannot do 4 mandates. That's why you see these people laughing, choking. That's why I see that French journalist choking to death because he can't believe his eyes that this same person was speaking like this is the one now saying he needs a fourth mandate at all costs. Hear him.
Laissez-moi partir. Moi, je ne ferai pas.
So you see, he is receiving all the applause in the world. Say, let me go. Allow me go and rest. Let me not do a fourth mandate. Please, allow me. I need to go and rest. But now the same Ouattara came up with this. The same Ouattara came up with this. This is the most amazing thing that you will see. Here. 83-year-old Ivory Coast president Alassane Dramane Ouattara said on Tuesday he will run for a fourth term in the presidential election on October 25. That election will be just 13 days after that of the Republic of Cameroon, another French colony, another French province overseas. So the constitution, he says, the constitution of our country allows me to serve another term, and my health permits it. Hey, Alassane Dramane Ouattara, your health permits it. That's the same man who was begging, to huge applause there, that they should pity him, they should have mercy on him, they should allow him to go get some rest. That is him saying, the constitution of our country allows me to serve another term, and my health permits it. So Ouattara, who was first elected president in Cote d'Ivoire in 2010, he said this, that you are hearing. And then he says, I am running for office because our country is facing unprecedented security, economic, and monetary challenges that require experience to manage. La force de l'experience. Always the same thing. Always the same thing. Requires experience. And Alassane Dramane Ouattara is the only Ivorian, is the only person in Ivory Coast with the experience required. If he dies today, Ivory Coast will end. My people of Ambazonia, we need to cut anything linking us to this evil country called France, to this cancer called France. Because, yes, everywhere we are seeing these things happen, 90% of the time, because there are a few places in Africa, like I talked about Zimbabwe before, 90% of the time, it will be French colonies. 90% of the time. And all will say the same thing. Oh, if I go now, the country will end. It needs someone who is experienced. Experience. Oh, yeah. And he's the only one alive with that experience. If he goes, hey, Cote d'Ivoire is finished. Hear him again. So, he says, duty sometimes transcends a promise that was made in good faith. So he said, justifying why he decided to go back on his earlier promise not to seek another term, he said, duty sometimes transcends a promise that was made in good faith. This is why, after thoughtful consideration and in all conscience, I'm announcing today that I've decided to be a candidate in the presidential election of 25th of October 2025. So duty transcends his earlier promise. That's the same thing. Wherever France has their finger, cancer follows. We have no reason at all to have anything to do with France. We had no business with France prior to 1961, my people. We should always remember this. This should be the driving force of our determination to make sure we send France and La République du Cameroon backing out of our territory.